All right, so BMW does a very nice job of crafting a commercial here for us that doesn't rely entirely on pathos, which is usually difficult to do and usually the go-to for these kinds of commercials. So from its onset, a very simple date is presented. There it is, 1994. And our brains are already just prepared to soak up the kind of information it's ready to deliver, the data, the statistics. We're already talking numbers. Okay, so let's see where this ad goes from here.
Back now at 56 past, I wasn't prepared to translate that.
That's
that little
right.
mark with the A and then the ring around it.
At?
See, that's what I said. Katie said she thought it was about.
Yeah.
But I'd never heard
Or
it.
around
I'd never
or
heard it
about.
said. I'd always
That's
seen the
right.
mark. There it is. At AM feedback, com. I mean, what
do you
is
say to that,
internet
Allison?
anyway? What do you write to it like mail?
There's Allison. Can you explain what internet is?
Now, we might consider this to be, I don't know, funny, humorous, ironic, given the fact that the @ symbol is at this point so deeply embedded in our culture. But because this is a genuine clip of Bryant Gumbel and Katie Couric, this does a lot more than just pull at our heartstrings. It's almost like a really compelling history lesson. Yes, this is what life was like in 1994. And it's true, it's real. We know this is an actual clip, right? So there's even more weight to it. Realistically, they could have said 1994 and written anything and it would have been pulling at that logos part of our brain. But this is even more compelling because it's an actual clip. Okay, so speaker, BMW. Audience, anyone who might ultimately purchase a BMW. So probably folks who are old enough to remember 1994 at this point, because that will make them A, old enough to be driving, and perhaps B, wealthy enough to afford a BMW. This is a very particular age point that they're shooting for here. Kids might find this a bit humorous, but what does it matter? What does BMW care if a 13-year-old kid is amused by a ridiculous flashback to 1994? It doesn't really cash in yet. It doesn't convert into a buy. Sure, he might rag on his parents and, really talk up the car, but more importantly, BMW wants to elicit that response in that kid's mother or father. The speaker, BMW, the audience, the potential buyer with enough money to afford the purchase, and the purpose to sell more cars. But what is the message? Okay, let's see.
See, that's what I said. What do you mean there's nothing under the hood? Katie said she thought this was a car.
Yeah.
And it's built using wind? Like from a windmill?
Or a fan, or a turbine, or a fan vine.
Wow. I mean, what is i3 anyway?
Allison, can you explain what i3 is?
Okay, that is so good. BMW, nice job. Nice rhetoric. That's so good. We've got a juxtaposition of both shots, and using that parallel, BMW has turned their product, the i3, something as big, as new, as game-changing as the internet. Right? That's what they've done there. So where in 1994, no one knew what the internet was. And in retrospect, we can say that if you didn't know what the internet was, you're in bad shape, and your best chance would be to go and research it and find out immediately. In 2015, what BMW has set up here is they've turned the i3 into the same exact thing. The impulse that BMW is trying to create in you, in its audience, is to get online and to research that car, because if you don't know what the i3 is, then you are as foolish as those news anchors were in 1993 or 94, whenever that was. A nice dose of pathos, right? Pathos-charged medicine for us.
The all-electric BMW i3, built in a wind-powered factory with the strength of carbon fiber and BMW performance.
And of course, the classic car commercial voiceover comes on, and we are back into Logos mode. Facts about the car that make it so futuristic, that support this message, that it truly is the next big thing. First the internet, and now BMW's i3. Nice work.